Hello viewers, so welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. Now I'm going to start a new subject, that is accounting standards. Previous videos I have completed on the subject of financial decision making. So many videos I have uploaded on that subject. Now many students have requested me, many viewers have asked me to start this subject of accounting standards. So now I'm planning for the next few days. I'm going to upload the videos on the subject of accounting standards. This is a very important subject for any graduate, postgraduate or professional students. So totally 5 units I'm going to cover up in this subject of accounting standard. The first unit, unit number 1, consists of 9 topics. These 9 topics I am going to explain you in detail. So if you want the complete command on the subject, watch the video till the end. Don't skip in between. If you understand all the points, you can easily write an examination with confidence. Now, what are the 9 points I am going to cover up in this video are: introduction to accounting standards. That means what is the need? What is accounting standard? What is the need of accounting standard? What is the purpose of accounting standard? That I am going to explain. Secondly, objectives of accounting standard. Third, benefits and limitations of accounting standard. Then process of formulation of accounting standard in India. How accounting standards are made. Which authority will make the accounting standard. List of accounting standards in India so far. So far, how many accounting standards on which topics have been issued, when it was issued. All these things I am going to explain. Need for conversion towards the global standards. That means accounting is a global activity throughout the world. Every country will have the accounting. So we have to integrate or converge the Indian accounting standard with the global standards. Then international financial reporting standards as global standards. IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, are the global standards. And benefits of conversion from with the IFRS. What are the benefits the business houses will get by converging the Indian standards with global standards? Then applicability of accounting standards in India. To which type of organizations these accounting standards are applicable? So these are the 9 points which I am going to cover up in unit number 1. But in this first video, I am going to cover up 3 topics. That is introduction to accounting standards, objectives of accounting standards, and advantages and limitations of accounting standard. That's what I'm going to explain you in this video. So before starting, take the screenshot of the points which I have written on the board. Then I'll explain all the points in detail. First of all, introduction to accounting standards. See, accounting is the language of business. The business will communicate with outside parties, just like the owners of the business, the shareholders, the creditors, the government, all and many other stakeholders are there. The business will communicate with outsiders with the help of accounting. So accounting is called the language of business. A language will be efficient and effective only when the same information which is passed on by the giver of the information and the receiver of the information both have the same understanding of the rules of language. Then only if the same language is used, the giver of the information and the receiver of the information will get the same thing. Otherwise, there will be misunderstanding between the giver and the receiver of the information. So here accounting is the language of business. So accounting must follow some rules and principles so that there should not be any misunderstanding between the receiver of the information and the giver of the information. So accounting standards will remove all the distortions between the business and the stakeholders. So accounting standards are the written policy documents. Actually, it is not oral principles or rules, or It is not the informal way of following some rules and accounting, but it is the formal policy document. This accounting standards will be issued by expert professional bodies. Like in India, we have the professional body of ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. This is the professional body which will issue the accounting standards, so that these accounting standards should be applied by all the business organizations in India while preparing the financial statements. So the aim is to bring uniformity in reporting in financial statements. All the stakeholders will take the decisions on the basis of financial statements. The financial statements should be uniform. That means how they are preparing. The financial statement should be prepared uniformly by all the organizations. If different business houses will follow different rules of making financial statements, nobody can be able to understand, because every organization is making in their own way. So to bring about uniformity in preparing the financial statements, accounting standards are necessary. So the problem of uniform reporting is overcome by introduction of common set of standards known as accounting standards. So this problem of different accounting methods, different policies will be overcome with the help of some standard rules. And these standard rules, which are issued by professional accounting bodies, are called accounting standards. So the main thing you have to remember, the different accounting methods which are followed by different organizations will make accounting more complicated. It will be difficult for the user to understand the financial statements. To overcome this problem, these standard rules are given in the form of accounting standard by the professional accounting bodies. Now, if financial accounting process is not properly regulated, there is a possibility of financial statement being misleading. All the stakeholders like owners, creditors, government, employees, different people are interested in the business. They will be misled if the financial statements are not properly made. If the financial statements prepared by business organizations are not efficiently regulated, so there should be some body to regulate regarding the preparation of financial statements so that its credibility should increase. Now, they provide a distorted picture of the business rather than true state of affairs. If there is no regulatory body to control how to prepare the financial statements, what will happen then? The financial statement will be misleading, and due to which the financial statements will not show the true and fair view of the business. Nobody can trust the financial statements which are prepared by the business organizations. Now, to ensure transparency, to ensure that the accounts are transparent, the accounts are consistently prepared, and comparability, adequacy, reliability of financial reporting, it is essential to standardize the accounting principles and policies. That means to bring about transparency, consistency, comparability, adequacy, reliability of financial reporting, it should be necessary that some standard principles, rules and policies should be adopted in maintaining the accounts and in preparing the financial statements. Because as the development takes place, more and more stakeholders are depending on the business houses. Now, the aim of accounting standard is to bring uniformity in the following aspects. So particularly, the main aim of this accounting standard is to bring about uniformity regarding what? The first one, recognizing of transactions and events in the financial statements. See here, a financial statements will have a huge data of transactions, events. Those transactions and events should be recognized. So how to recognize that a transaction took place? When the transaction should be recorded? How much it should be recorded? So first thing is recognition of the transaction and events. because all the transaction will be disclosed in the financial statements. There should be uniformity. Every business should not apply their own methods of recognizing. There should be some rules, principles. Secondly, measurement of these transactions and events. First thing is recognition of transaction events. Second is measurement of those transactions and events. Because everything should be measured in terms of money, in terms of monetary value. So there should be some principles how to measure the transactions and events. Third one, presentation of these transactions and events in a financial statement in a meaningful and understandable manner. Not only identifying and measuring the transactions, but also how to present these transactions in the preparation of financial statements so that it should be more understandable. That means whatever the company wants to say, the same meaning should reach the user of the financial statements. There should not be any misleading or misunderstanding. So properly presented in the financial statements. Lastly, disclosure requirements in financial statements. The law has made that these things should be disclosed in the financial statements. So whatever law requires, those things should be properly disclosed. So we have to bring about uniformity in identifying the transactions, measuring the transactions, presenting those transactions and events in the financial statements, and follow the requirement of the law, how to disclose, what items to be disclosed in the financial statements. So these are the things which requires accounting standard. So I have explained you about the introduction of accounting standard. Now the next topic is regarding objectives. Why these accounting standards are required? What is the necessity of these accounting standards? First of all, to bring about uniformity in financial reporting. Actually, accounting is a process of recording in books of original entry, then transferring, posting it into ledger accounts, then annually preparing the trial balance, preparing the financial statements. So after making the financial statements, the financial information should be reported to different authorities. There should be uniformity in reporting of financial information. So to bring about uniformity in financial reporting, accounting standards are required. That is the objective. Second one is consistency in financial statements published by various organizations. We have different types of organizations called manufacturing organization, trading organization, service providing organization like banks, insurance companies, financial institutions. So many different varied nature of organizations are there. So every organization will have their own feature of transactions and events. So there should be some rules, standards, how to make the financial statements of different types of organizations. That will again be guided by accounting standards. Third one, enhance the credibility and reliability of accounting information. If there are no accounting standards, no credibility will be given to the accounting information because every organization is preparing the accounting information in their own way. But when the accounts are guided by accounting standards, when accounting information is made according to the rules given by accounting standard, then what will happen? The credibility, reliability of financial statements will increase. The stakeholder will give more importance to financial statements. Thirdly, to improve quality of financial reporting. See here, every stakeholder will have different expectations from the business. The creditors, the government, the shareholders, and the employees, the bankers, different people will have different expectation from the business. That means the accounting standard, when followed, then it will give more and more information to different types of stakeholders. The credibility will increase, the importance will increase. Now, to ensure adequate disclosure of accounting principles and adequate treatment of various items that are not required to be disclosed as per statute. As per the law, it is not required that each and everything should be disclosed. There are some items which are not to be disclosed according to statute. then this accounting standard will explain how to treat, how to deal with those items which are not statutorily required to be disclosed. Next one is to ensure that accounting practice is in conformity with the provisions of laws, applicable laws, customs, based usage and the business environment of the country. The accounting standards are expected that it should comply the provisions of the law, because the law comes first, then comes accounting standard. Then accounting standard should see that whatever accounting information is prepared, that is according to the provisions of the law, according to the customs, according to the usage and the environment of the country. So these are the objectives why we need accounting standard. These type of questions will be frequently asked in examination. What are accounting standards and what are the objectives of accounting standards, and what are the advantages, benefits and limitations of accounting standards? These type of questions are frequently asked in examination. So I have explained you about the meaning, introduction and the objectives. Now I am coming to the advantages or benefits of accounting standards. There are many benefits or advantages to the business houses and also to the stakeholders from this accounting standards. Now briefly I am going to explain you few benefits which business organization and stakeholders will get from accounting standard. First one, uniformity and consistency in reporting helps user to compare the financial statements. See here, normally the stakeholders, the different users of accounting wants to compare the accounting information of one year with another year. That is called intra-firm comparison. Within the same firm, 1 year performance is compared with another year's performance. Similarly, the users wants to compare the information of one organization with another organization. That is called inter-firm comparison. So if accounting standards are followed, that means there will be uniformity, there is consistency in the financial statements, so easily the user can compare with intra-firm and inter-firm comparisons. That is the first benefit. Comparison will become easy with the help of accounting standards. Secondly, accounting standards provide guidance to accountants for preparation of financial statements and auditors to audit the same. The next benefit, advantage of accounting standard is this will help the accountants in making the financial statements. While making the financial statements, accountants are crystal clear regarding how to make, which item to recognize, how the transactions should be identified, how the transaction should be measured, how the transaction should be disclosed in the financial statements. Everything is clear because the rules are given by the accounting standard. Similarly, the job of the auditors will become easier because the auditors also knows that accounts are according to the accounting standards. So the job of the auditor will also become easier. That is the benefit. Third one, accounting standard provide an objective basis to subjective exercise such as valuation of companies. In a number of cases in accounting, subjective analysis has to be applied. Personal judgment of the accountant has to be applied. Example, in case of depreciation, in case of valuation of stock, in case of revaluation of assets. So in all these cases, the personal judgment of the accountant will be applied. When personal judgment is applied, definitely there is a scope of bias. There is a scope of misrepresenting the financial statements. So in these situations, the accounting standard will bring some objectivity regarding those items on which personal judgment is applied. Next one, accounting standard minimize the scope of twisting the accounting policies to present the financial information favorably. There are many cases where the management of the business try to twist the financial information to make the financial statement favorable to the organization. Example, a company will make financial statements so lucrative, so decorative, that anybody can see and appreciate and depend on the financial statements. But accounting standard will prevent those organizations in making twisting in the financial information. Now the financial information cannot be easily twisted, right? Next one is accounting standard prevent manipulation of accounting information and fraudulent practices. See here, there are a lot of scope of manipulation or fraudulent practices in accounting, but accounting standard will act as a police in preventing, in stopping the business from fraudulent practices. The frauds can be prevented by following accounting standards. Accounting standard ensure that accounting and financial information is made available to various stakeholders in timely manner. See here, the accounting standard has specified the dates like that, so that the accounting information should be processed on time and supplying this information to the user on a timely manner. Because when information is received on time, then decisions can be easily taken. Otherwise, it will be difficult to take the decision. So, accounting standard will make the business houses to prepare timely accounting financial statements. So, these are only few benefits. There are many benefits apart from this of accounting standards. The last topic in this video I am going to explain is the limitations of accounting standard. We should not think that only advantages. The accounting standard will also suffer from some limitations. But these limitations are not so serious. That is the reason we can say like this: benefits far exceeds than limitations. Few limitations are there, but many advantages are there of accounting standard. What are the few limitations of accounting standard? First one, accounting standard bring lot of rigidity into the method of accounting. See, every business, the nature of the business is different. The same rule cannot be applied in all the organizations. So if accounting standard make a rigid rule, then it will be very difficult for the business organization to follow the rules, because every business will have their own issues, different situations. So we cannot say that this is the accounting standard, this is the rule which should be applied, strictly applied in every organization. It will be difficult for the organization to run. So because they need to focus on form rather than substance. One of the limitations is the accounting standard will focus only on the norms, only on the form, not on the substance. What is the logic behind applying this rule? So that will be ignored. Substance will be ignored, only importance will be given to the form. That means the rules will become very rigid, difficult to apply. First limitation. Second limitation is some specific or unique situation may need to create creative solutions which can be supported with greater explanation and justification. See here, all the transactions, events are not of the same expected in nature. Some peculiar situation will arise. Some unique situation will arise. There we cannot follow the accounting standard because the situation is entirely new one, different one. So in those unique situations, it will be difficult to follow the accounting standards. There we have to apply the judgment. We have to go for the substance rather than form. That is the limitation. The third and the last limitation here is standards cannot override the statute. First comes the statute, then comes accounting standard. The accounting standard cannot override the statute. They work under the statute. That means the accounting standard will not have the complete power. The first power is law. Second power is accounting standard. Thus, accounting standard need to be framed within the framework of existing law. This can sometimes be limiting. So, the accounting standard wants to make some different law, but the law has made some strict restrictions. So, accounting standard will become powerless. They cannot go beyond law. That is also one of the limitations. But few limitations are there. Advantages of accounting standards are many. So this video, hope it will be very helpful to the students in understanding the meaning of accounting standard, why accounting standard have been implemented, what are the aims, what are the objectives of accounting standard, benefits and limitations I have explained. Hope this video will be very helpful to you, and particularly for those students who are writing exams on the subject of accounting standards, not only for graduation but also for post-graduation and professional courses. This video will be very much helpful. Inshallah, we will continue the next topic in this unit in the next video.